It's been a little while since I've updated all of you with my EDC, and it's been even longer since I've done a full Blackout EDC, so that's what we've got today for fall 2021. This is what I've been carrying. I've made a few changes and tweaks over the past few months and have some cool stuff to share with everyone, so let's just jump right into it. Starting off, something that hasn't changed is my phone. I decided to keep this around for another year instead of getting the iPhone 13. I've just been incredibly happy with the 12 Pro Max. I used it all year for photography while I was backpacking and hiking. Actually, 2 out of the 4 photos I have on my back wall over here were taken with my phone, and even the large format prints look really good. You know, it's just very capable as a photo camera and video camera, and functionally, you know, the processor is still better than half of what's out there. So been working smoothly, and really looking forward to getting year 2 out of this thing before I'll probably upgrade next year, but we'll see. For my keys, I've still been using the Orbit key organizer. I've had it for at least 6 months, probably closer to a year now, and it has held up really well. Something I have noticed, not really a negative, but something to point out if anyone's looking at getting one of these. It does tend to loosen up a bit over time. It hasn't loosened to the point where it's coming apart or being problematic, but I did notice these keys getting a little bit looser, spinning them around and flicking them out. So you might have to tighten this up every once in a while. I haven't even tightened it. That's how little of a problem it's been, but figured it would be worth mentioning. I have the black, I believe it's the Saffiano leather. Picked this up with the Orbit Key multi-tool version 2. I really was not a fan of the multi-tool, but have really liked this key organizer, and I'm definitely keeping it around for the long term. From there, I have a new pickup in the knife category. You all know I've been talking about it probably more than I should on the channel lately. Been getting real into knives and multi-tools this year, and I've been really happy with my Civivi Elementum that I've talked about quite a few times. I still think if you're gonna have one pocket knife, if you're just getting into pocket knives, that is an amazing way to go. But I really love the flick locks on the Civivi, and I wanted to look at some of the other options that they had, just because the quality and price are kind of right where I want to be. Debated getting a Benchmade bug out and a few other things, but just didn't want to drop the extra cash. This is the Civivi Badlands Vagabond. It's an all black exterior with just a normal steel blade. I absolutely love the texture that they included on here. It looks nice, but it also feels really nice in the hand and provides a little bit of extra grip. This thing has been performing really well for me, especially for 40 bucks. Next up is another item I've recently been testing and I'm not quite sure about. I'm always on the hunt for handkerchiefs and microfiber cloths, and I know there are a handful of options out there that are kind of dual-sided where you can do both, but I blow my nose a lot. I have a lot of allergies and congestion issues and things like that, so I need something a little more substantial or more dedicated. I found this black handkerchief that's meant for sweat absorbing, so it almost has a bit of a microfiber feel. Initial impressions are mostly good. You know, I don't quite love it as much as some of the cotton ones for nose blowing, but I do think this material is a little more versatile. Once you get used to carrying a handkerchief, you really can't go back. This one has been pretty nice though. You know, I was mainly looking for black handkerchiefs for my Blackout EDC here, and I tried a handful of different options that I could find, and this was definitely the least objectionable of the 3. You know, I wouldn't say it's as focused on nose blowing and nose use as I would probably like, but for most people's use cases for a handkerchief, I do think this would actually be a little bit better with that microfiber sort of material. It's worked well enough for me to be able to carry this as a handkerchief and a microfiber in kind of dual use, and I'm gonna use that for a little bit longer and just kind of see how things go with it, but so far pretty good. Next up, I've got my wallet. I'm still carrying the Wayfinder card holder. This thing's just really simple and elegant. I like it. I like the feel of the fabric. It's kind of a textured, almost like rubber silicone sort of feel, but not quite. A little more, tough to show off the texture here. I'll get as close as I can with the lens, but yeah, really nice feel, really nice quality. Wayfinder is based here in Portland, Oregon as well, so it's always cool to work with local companies and utilize local companies. And yeah, I've had this thing for most of the year, or maybe even last year. I honestly don't remember when I got it, but been really happy with it. Another new addition of mine is a bit of a mask upgrade from my previous mask. My old one was like a thrown together mask from a local company here back before they were really being manufactured in any normal capacity. Used it for quite a while. The folks at Aus Air reached out and asked if I wanted to try their mask. It looked really cool. The technology looked really cool. So I said, all right. And I've been using it the past couple of months, and this thing is darn right luxurious. Like I said, I'm coming from that really basic, inexpensive mask, so this is just like the Lamborghini of masks compared to what I'm used to. It's a merino fabric actually, so it's really nice and soft. It does actually come with some copper filters as well. To be honest, I've just been using the cloth one and saving the copper filters for a situation where I might need it compared to my usual day-to-day. But overall, after a couple months of using this thing, it's been absolutely perfect on every level. The technology in the merino fabric and the copper filters kind of speak for themselves. The aesthetics of this thing, it's absolutely gorgeous. I love the black, I love the texture, and the most important factor of all when it comes to a mask is comfort. This thing is extremely comfortable, and I am far less annoyed when I have to wear masks when I have a more comfortable mask. So I've been really happy with this thing. It just came out, I believe a month or so ago. They sent it out to me in preparation for their release. I didn't really guarantee them a video or anything. I just said I would try it. But yeah, after a couple months, been super happy with it. Definitely check it out if you're in need of a mask or even just a mask upgrade. Next, we've got headphones. I have made an upgrade here as well. I just talked about it in last week's gift guide video, but I did make the switch from my Gen 1 2016 AirPods to the AirPods Pro this year. I'll go in a little bit more detail for the EDC video than the gift guide for a little bit of backstory of how I got here. They announced the AirPods 3rd generation, and I was really happy because historically I don't like silicone tips, and I was really hesitant about that seal because I wear these around the city and when I'm out in nature and need to listen for things for safety reasons. Out in the city and in nature, I just need to be able to hear my surroundings really well, and silicone tips generally haven't fit me as well as those Gen 1 AirPods. They fit like a glove. When they announced the 3rd generation, I was like, great, I get the same fit of my 1st gen, but with all these nice upgrades like the Pros. So I got them in, tried them, and they fit horribly. I'm so upset that they changed the fit on those things. I ended up having to return them. I gave them a good honest shot for a few days, and they just wouldn't stay in my ear. The Gen 1s just fit, and I forget about them so easily, but yeah, these Gen 3s just did not work at all. So I figured I would try the Pros. I would just give it a shot, see how it goes. They were actually on sale for $190, so it was only a $10 difference from the 3rd generation AirPod. So I gave the fit a try, and they're great. Being completely honest, they're not as comfortable as my Gen 1 AirPods still. I still think those are the most comfortable headphones I've ever worn. I know I'm in the minority. Everyone thinks the Pros fit better than the Gen 1s, but if you're someone like me out there, these might actually still work for you. So they're not quite as comfortable, but they're still definitely, 8 out of 10 comfort compared to 10 out of 10 comfort. Totally usable and totally enjoyable. The transparency mode just works so much better than I ever could have imagined. It's really an insane technological feat. I know I'm way late to the party here. They came out in like 2019 and had this feature, but for someone just trying them now in 2021, the transparency mode is excellent, the noise canceling is excellent, and the sound quality is absolutely excellent. It's not some super high-end audiophile premium experience. I do have a proper headphone amp and headphones in my desk setup, but for just normal, casual consumer use, I think they sound great. I did pick up a new case because the shape is different from the Gen 1s. This case, I can't remember the brand off the top of my head, but I'll put a link in the description. and this is just like a faux leather textured case. It was only 10 bucks. The fit is really nicely. I really like the texture and feel of it. It's not overly thick to add unnecessary bulk to the headphones. For 10 bucks, it's been great. It does still work with the MagSafe charging if you have the new 2021 AirPods Pro like me, and it does work with regular wireless charging too. But yeah, overall, great combo if you're looking for a gift for yourself or want to upgrade your headphones, or if you've been on the fence about the Pros like I was for the past couple of years, pick them up, try them out. They're excellent. Switching over to my on-person items and starting with my watch, this is the Nordgreen Pioneer. It's a 42 millimeter in the gunmetal with a black rubber band. Nordgreen is actually sponsoring today's video as well, so a huge thanks to them for making this a reality. I've had the Pioneer model for quite some time now, and it's definitely my favorite of Nordgreen's offerings, but have recently tried the black rubber band. It's super thick and super soft. It has a little bit of stretch to it too, so it's really comfortable. I've been really happy with this combo, and I'm kind of kicking myself that I didn't try the rubber version of the band sooner. Speaking about Nordgreen as a company though, they make Scandinavian minimalist style watches. Their lead designer is Jacob Wagner. He's had a really long and great career working with brands like Nordgreen here and Bang & Olufsen. If you've never seen their stuff, it's incredible as well, so it makes perfect sense. So the watches are absolutely beautiful. They're pretty reasonably priced as well, which is great, but one of my favorite things about Nordgreen is what they do to help offset their impact on the environment and what they do to help give back to environments and communities in need. A few quick things to note: all of the Nordgreen packaging is made from recycled materials, and aside from the fact that it's recycled, it is actually like a really gorgeous unboxing experience. You usually kind of have to pick one or the other. It's nice that they do a really great job of both. On top of that, all of their shipping is carbon neutral as well, and with every watch purchase, you can actually participate in their Give Back program. You have the option to donate to one of 3 charity programs. You can donate 2 months of clean water to someone in need in Central Africa. You can donate 1 month of education to a child that needs it in India, or you can also help protect 50 square meters of rainforest in Latin America. If you've been around the channel for a while, I know you've heard all of this before. I've been working with Nordgreen for quite some time now, but I love what they're doing on their business end of things. And simply put, on top of all of the environmental and charitable things, they just make really great looking watches. As of a few days ago, they have also started their Black Friday sales, which span a couple of weeks, so they have some really good discounts. You can also use code JOSH35 for 30% off your next watch purchase, so keep an eye out for that. Go check out what they have if you haven't before. It's really great stuff. It looks excellent. The quality is definitely there as well for that pricing. All in all, just a really great brand and really great watches. Huge thanks to them for sponsoring this week's video. Last couple of items to cover really quick. My hat is from Reigning Champ. It's a 5-panel hat that they have since discontinued. I bought this when I was thrifting here in Portland, Oregon. It is quite brown and faded. I tried dyeing it a couple of months ago, which was somewhat successful, but it didn't quite get dark enough. I was worried about having it too dark and have it like weirdly jet black. I plan on trying to do another coat of dye on this thing to darken it up a bit more. Just because it's a perfectly good working hat aside from the sun fading, and they don't make it anymore, so if I wanted to replace them, I couldn't get one anyway. My wedding ring was from a local shop in Michigan back when I used to live there, but they get all of their rings from a place called Titanium Buzz. It's the Cocobolo wood, so I'll try and find a link if I can and leave it in the description. And my glasses are from Salt Optics. I got these back in 2017. I've scratched up the lenses just a little bit, so I kind of need to start looking into some alternative options, but they're still going strong, and I still think they've held their style for having them 5 years now. I feel like they still look pretty nice and new. And one last thing to mention, I'm still carrying the Air City Sling 2. I did a whole video about this if you want to learn about it more. It's been a great daily carry for me. I can't fit my normal water bottle in here, but otherwise I've been really happy with how this thing fits and works with all of my stuff. Really great organization, really great aesthetics. Overall, just really happy with this thing. That's gonna wrap it up for this week's video though. Thank you all so much for sticking around, checking out the new updated Blackout EDC. I'd love to hear what you have in your setup these days, anything new that you found or discovered that you've been liking. Overall, this setup has just been working really well for me, and I was excited to share it with all of you. I hope you liked it. Let me know again in the comments what your setup looks like, and I will talk to you in the next one.